Hi, my name is Noel Davis with Vermicompost, and here's our week 18 update on our bin. And I haven't checked on it really, but we had the 2-week hiatus, and then I came back and fed them, and then we're going to take a look again and see how it's doing. Now, I think all the fruit flies might be gone by now, because we did have a lot of stuff in the bin, but we're going to check it out and see how it's going. We added some coffee grounds last time too, I think. So let's check it out. All right, so here's our bin. Actually, hold on, I'm going to grab a little thing here to stir it with. And I'm not seeing any fruit flies really, it looks like, which is good. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here as far as moving on the top really, which is good right now. Oh, actually, there is a worm right here, believe it or not, or 2 worms on the side. There's a little bit of moisture on the bin. There's actually, now that I look at the top, there's a little bit of moisture, and there's actually a worm on here too. So not very moist, but a little bit of moisture. We still have some of the burlap in here. I'm not seeing any fruit flies though, so this did get rid of the fruit flies, this layer of cardboard and the coffee grounds and everything. Well, I'm not seeing many worms either, and this is starting to compress a little bit in the bottom here. It's really starting to get hard to move around. It's a little bit difficult also because of the size of this bin. This is one of the advantages of having a small bin, but also the disadvantage is the fact that it's harder to turn things over when you want to. Alright, let me just get in here real quick. Alright, I'm not really seeing much. I see a few worms in here, but not much activity. But that's underneath the burlap on that side. This is the wheatgrass. That's right, we added wheatgrass last time too. There's actually one worm in there as well. Spread that around a little bit. It is a little bit dry in here, I think. I think it's starting to dry out a little bit more than I'd really want it to. So we might add a little bit of water, and I've I have a video on water, but we're going to show you again how, how I add it. This is separate than my other videos, really. Alright, here we go. I'm not really seeing many worms in here right now. This is a little bit worrisome, but, they could also be in specific sections of the bin. They also could be, I have found that sometimes worms will just seem to disappear from the bin and then come back really strong later. So, I see a few here in the middle. More of the wheatgrass here. Here we go. Here's some worms. This is a good area right here, looks like. So there's worms right here. So you can see them right over here. There's a bunch of worms. Or there's a bunch, actually there's more over here even. So they were in the wheatgrass area where there's food. So that's where they were congregating towards, and there's probably more moisture here because of the food and everything. So there's more in here actually now that I look at it. And they look pretty healthy. They're kind of a darker color, a lot of them. They look a little bit small on the small side, but that's not a bad thing. So we do have some food in here still, but we're still going to add some more. We're actually going to add quite a bit of food this time. I'm going to probably bury it way underneath here so we don't get the fruit fly issue. Actually, I've got a couple fruit flies that are on the floor here. It looks like trying to prowl in here and get in here again, but I'm going to try to keep them out by keeping everything underneath the bedding here, which is what you really would want to do normally. Is you want to bury things down. You don't want to keep it on the top. I do a lot of top feedings, but I find that those bins are really, really well established, and they tend to eat through everything very quickly. So what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to, this is a frozen food. This is already frozen. It's actually hard as a rock. I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff in here on this side. This is a huge mix of stuff from strawberries and mangoes and some broccoli in here. By the way, with broccoli, make sure you do bury it. Broccoli will smell in almost any bin you put it in, I have found. It will always smell. Like broccoli, which, if you like the smell of broccoli, more power to you. I do not like it when it smells really strongly, so I'm not a big fan of that. So I'm going to kind of pack that down here a little bit, and then I'm going to lift up this side as well. I'm going to just go down a little bit here. I'm going to add, let's try to add, I'm going to add this piece of pumpkin in there. Nice good chunk of pumpkin in there. Again, I'm going to cover it back up. And then one other thing I'm going to do here, I got a lot of wheatgrass here on the top, it looks like, but that's all right. I think the fruit flies really tend to like the fruits and vegetables, not the little bit of stuff poking through here. But I think they like the vegetables more than or the fruits more than the vegetables. So now one other thing I'm going to do here, as I mentioned, I'm going to put some water in the bin. Now, I don't normally do this very often, but I have a spray bottle here that I use. And you can buy these at just a Home Depot or Lowe's or any type of store like that. I'm sure probably Tractor Supply Company and stuff like that would have them. I'm just going to kind of spray down the top here a little bit. I'm not trying to soak the bin. I'm not going to dump water in. I just want to keep it moist, and it's definitely drying out because I haven't been adding as much food. I've been kind of neglectful lately. I haven't been adding as much either because I didn't want an infestation of fruit flies anymore. So there we go. That's now nice and moist. And one other thing I'm going to add is, again, I'm going to actually just some coffee grounds here. If I can get them out. They're a little frozen still. I'll get out what I can. So they're a little frozen there. I put them in the freezer at my office before I bring them home. So they're still a little frozen, so I can't get them all out. But there we go. I put some coffee grounds in. They kind of work to help keep away the fruit flies. So this is nice and a little moist on top. And we've got new food in there. And our bin is ready to go again. So this is our week 18 update here. And we added a little bit of moisture to help kind of keep it moist. And as you can tell, there's a couple of drops there. But dry on the lid here. So that's kind of my hint that it probably needs a little bit of water. I expect it to be, I don't want to say soaked. I don't expect water streaming off of it, but I expect it to have a little bit of some drops on top or something on the top of the bin when you open it up. So there's our update. Hope you enjoyed, and good luck with your worms.